Hello friends, this is Scott, and this was my last overnight trip down to the hobby farm that led to my last video where I needed an attitude adjustment. But this is what I saw of the home when I had a bad attitude and when I first got down here. So anyway, I'm looking at that front room that I need to get the KILZ down on that. I wanted to see how the KILZ looked and the smell was from the all-purpose KILZ I brought down here last time. And I put a couple coats, especially in this room, and you can see as a stain blocker, not great. But as an odor blocker, I think it's going to do the job. I think the original all-purpose KILZ might just be, what I needed to do down here. But today I brought down the supposed good stuff, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But scrolling back down to the front room, and this is my plan. I came down mainly to make sure the cats were okay, snow's coming. I just wanted to make sure that I had this place kind of ship-shape, make sure it was going to be good because the snow is going to keep me out of here for a few days. So I did bring a vacuum down, so I'm filming this just to prove to my wife that I do know what this piece of equipment is and that I know how to use it. So just for the record, I do know how to do this. And I know how to do it both directions, it looks like. But I'm not going to bore you, with just the slow-mo vacuuming here. I'm going to show you how good I can really do. And look how fast I am, man. I cruise, so I can get this done in just a matter of seconds. And I'm very organized, as you see. I just go over, I go from one place to the next very, very effectively. But finishing up the vacuuming, and I want to put down a coat of that, the new stuff, which is the good stuff. And we'll see if that's any good. So here's the KILZ Restoration. Now, this is water-based. They have an oil-based also, but I bought 2 gallons, and there's a reason I only bought 2 gallons. A couple reasons. One is it's $44 or $45 a gallon. So this stuff isn't cheap. So this will be a good test because I haven't got any coats of paint down on this front room, so I'll test it here, and then I'll also test it as another coat over the all-purpose KILZ and see if it's really, all it's cracked up to be. Now, my first impression is it's definitely thick and white. It's not as thick as I thought it was going to be. Has a little bit of a smell to it, but not terrible. And I did find out later, after I got finished and I was standing in here breathing the fumes, that you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to have a lot of ventilation. So after I got done painting, I figured that out, and I opened up the front door and the back door and let the breeze blow through. And then I went to bed with my fingers crossed that everything was going to be okay. But the stuff rolls on pretty good. I don't have the right roller for this floor because there's so many imperfections. But here's a close-up of what it looks like, just really kind of a thicker white. Just looks like any other type of paint. And that's my first little bit of roll-on, and it looks like it's covering, but I don't know how it's going to cover the pet stains, but I've got a couple big pet stains coming up in the next few rolls, so it'll be a good test for the first coat and just see if this stuff's any better. Is it really any better at double the cost? Because the all-purpose is probably $20-something a gallon, if I remember correctly, and this stuff is $44, $45 a gallon before tax. So here's the first coat, and it still bleeds through. Smell, all I can smell is the paint, but it's probably doing what it's doing. But if I was painting this on a wall and I had stains on the walls, I'd be a little concerned if I was going to paint a light color on the walls. Dark color, probably no problem. Light color, I think it's going to bleed through still. But here's a look at when I had some of it done. And you see all the chips in the floors where I had to chip off all the laminate flooring. And then here's the stairs that I left. And I'm going to test the stairs and do a little bit. Again, a gallon only covers maybe one room, if that much. So I'm not going to spend that much money on this stuff if this is the look of what it looks like after one coat. And we'll see after the second coat here, which is here. This is my first attempt at 2 coats right in front of my bedroom door I'm using. And I want to see if this stuff's going to cover up any better in the hall. I can't see into the master because there's no light in there, so I'm not going to do much in there tonight. But so there, how it looks wet, second coat. And I can still see the stains bleeding through. So again, all I can smell is the paint. And I think the original KILZ all-purpose, pretty much smelled the same. This is a little bit stronger stuff. But even after it dried, I can still see the stains. So I'm not impressed from a stain blocking perspective. But from the smell perspective, which is all I need for this, because this will all be covered up anyway with laminate clickable flooring. But this is like probably 4 coats because I had done several coats and I went through and did some spots here. And I realized I'm not going to spend $44 to do this room again if this is what it's going to look like. So I have one more gallon. I used one whole gallon for everything I did this trip. I saved a gallon, and I'm just going to do touch-ups on, it's really easy after you put the white down when it bleeds through where you need to be. So I'll do 3, 4, 5 coats or whatever I need to do on the spots where the cat urine is. But I'm not going to spend that kind of money. I don't think it did much better than the $20 stuff. And that's after a couple coats of 20 and then a couple coats of 40, and I missed these spots in the dark last night. So, but as you see, it doesn't look much different. Then I did make it back home. And obviously, because I made a couple videos, but this is what I'm looking at today. And I got to time my next trip down to the hobby farm because the snows are coming and it's really cold temperatures. It's supposed to get down to -1 by next week. So it's going to be really, really chilly. So I think we're going to have more snow maybe tomorrow or the next day. So I've got to time my trip down so I don't get hit with the snow and then time it back so that I can have a good, clear road day to get back. So anyway, KILZ all-purpose seems to be as good as the other stuff. Well, thanks for watching this video. And if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.